Yo, what's up guys? It's me, Chef Nell Sasson, and today I'm making some pork chops and mashed potatoes. This recipe includes a pack of refrigerated pork chops, all-purpose flour, 2 eggs, hot sauce, garlic and pepper seasoning, onion powder, chili powder, milk, and a bag of potatoes. First, we're going to pat these pork chops dry with a paper towel on both sides to remove any excess moisture. This helps the seasoning stick better and give the meat a nice sear when frying or cooking them. This way, we can achieve delicious and flavorful pork chops. To give pork chops that flavor, first, how about adding a touch of garlic and pepper seasoning? This adds a delicious depth of flavor to pork chops. It's a classic combination that complements the natural taste of pork. Second, how about giving those pork chops an extra kick by sprinkling some onion powder on them? This adds a savory and slightly sweet flavor to the pork chops to enhance the overall taste of the dish. And our last seasoning that we will use for the pork chops will be chili powder. This will add a spicy and smoky flavor to the pork chops, enhancing the taste profile of the dish. Once you've seasoned the pork chops well, flip them over and repeat the process on the other side. Once those pork chops are all jazzed up with seasoning, toss them in the bowl. In a separate bowl, mix 2 eggs and hot sauce, then blend it all together with the pork chops. Mixing whisked eggs and hot sauce together serves as a flavorful and binding marinade for the pork chops. The eggs help create a coating that adds richness and helps the seasoning stick to the meat, while the hot sauce brings a spicy kick that enhances the overall taste of the dish. After them pork chops have taken a dip in the flavor bath, let them chill in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. Let's whip up some mashed potatoes. Time to unleash the spuds. Let's peel those bad boys and give them a good scrub with baking soda. That's right, I got baking soda.
Baking soda! I got baking soda!
The potatoes have had their baking soda spa treatment. Now, let's give them a good rinse to wash away any lingering baking soda magic. Now that the potatoes are squeaky clean, let's chop them up into bite-sized cubes. Alright, the water is boiling in the pot, and now it's time to toss in a pinch of salt and let the potatoes take a dip. Let the potatoes simmer in the water for 15 to 20 minutes or until they are tender enough to be easily pierced with a fork. While the potatoes are bubbling away, let's dive into prepping the breading for those pork chops. Time to grab a bowl or container and fill it up with flour. This helps to create a crispy and golden brown crust on the outside of the pork chops when they are fried. It also helps to seal in the juices of the meat, keeping the pork chops moist and flavorful. After you have sprinkled the flour into your bowl or container, toss in a dash of garlic pepper seasoning, a pinch of onion powder, and a hint of chili powder, and stir it up until it's well combined. Now, let's give these pork chops a good dusting with the flour mixture. Make sure they are nice and coated all over. And once all the pork chops have been coated, set them on a plate until it's time to fry them. Time to swap in the canola oil and increase the heat to high. Let's refocus our attention on the potatoes. Once the potatoes have been tender enough to be easily pierced with a fork, it's time to drain the spuds and mash them up. Now that the potatoes are mashed, we'll add a touch of garlic and pepper seasoning, a pinch of onion powder, and a cup of milk to enhance the flavor and texture. With all the ingredients well combined, we'll now incorporate 4 tablespoons of butter, a touch of Parmesan cheese, and some chives to create a richer and more flavorful mashed potato dish. Mashed potatoes without these, that's like a party without music, just not the same vibe. The addition of these ingredients elevates the mashed potatoes from a simple side dish to a truly culinary experience. Now, let's thoroughly combine the ingredients to achieve a smooth and creamy consistency. Once that's done, we'll now proceed to a taste test to evaluate the overall flavor profile and texture of the mashed potatoes. Alright, now I'm going to give these mashed potatoes a taste test to see if it needs more salt or anything else. Now that's what I call the best mashed potatoes. A good trick you can do to see if the oil is ready for frying is to take a toothpick and put it in oil to see if it sizzles. Once it sizzles, it's time to fry up them pork chops. I'm gonna be in pork chop heaven tonight. To reach pork chop heaven, you'll want to fry up your pork chops for about 6 to 8 minutes per side, depending on the thickness of the chops. Just make sure they are cooked through but still juicy inside. The smell of the pork chops always takes me back to quarantine with my grandma Linda. It's one of my favorite comfort foods from her kitchen. After the pork chops have taken a dip in the hot oil, give them a quick spa treatment on a paper towel to dry off. Pork chop night is like a cheat code for happiness. It's a guaranteed good time, but I gotta savor it because it doesn't come around often. My parents are just not pork eaters. And now, it's time for the moment of truth. I'm going to try it and I won't cap. Woo! These pork chops have a symphony of textures. The crispy crust, the juicy meat, and the hint of fat all come together in perfect harmony. And these mashed potatoes are just perfect. They are like a fluffy cloud, melting in your mouth with a creamy richness. The hint of butter and herbs adds a touch of elegance. If you're wondering how to say pork chops and mashed potatoes in Spanish, it's chuletas de cerdo y puré de papas. A mi tío le encantará esto. Siempre me dice que la carne de cerdo es buena para la piel. Anyways, this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace. And y'all could eat them pork chops.